Thank you very much. That was Miles Davis's 4. Or we think it's Miles Davis's 4. Guys, get out number 2. But first, I'm going to impose on a couple friends of mine who I haven't asked if they want to do this. For all I know, they absolutely can't, and they might just have to tell me. But I have 2 friends in the audience who it would be such a diversion from what we're doing tonight if I were to ask them to sing a song without the band. So I won't even point out who they are, but just, I don't know, somehow let me know that, would you guys be open to coming on stage and singing that, maybe the thing you did a couple weeks ago for us live? You will? Okay, folks, these 2 are they're not in the same country. They're married, and they live here in Orange County, but they're rarely in the country together, and this quarantine has sort of forced them to actually live together. Because, what's that? Oh, Golden, they won't really need mics. They can just stand right here and be fed off of our mics. Trust me, it's going to be, yeah. Yeah, they can just be like right off of my mic. You'll hear it. They're not going to be right on it. You'll see. Okay. So they are, I said they're married. They live in town, but they're rarely here. They're rarely together, and yet they're two of the sweetest people, and they are 2 of the most amazing singers. They tour the entire globe, playing opera houses around the country, and I mean around the world, and including like La Scala and all the other ones whose names sound really important that I don't know. But I know for a fact that they've done that room, and they've done any big opera house you can think of, the Metropolitan, the Met, like all that stuff. That's the same, isn't it? They've done all those. I don't know what I'm talking about, other than if you look them up, you're going to be blown away that you just got to hear them sing right here at Campus JAX. Please welcome John Osborne and Lynette Tapia. And I'm just going to put I didn't ask them about this. I'm just going to put my mic here, like maybe you guys can stand right here, and I'll put my horn mic and this mic in front of you, and you don't have to sing right on the mic. You can just, like, you don't need it.
Like right there?
This is going to be crazy great. I just saw them sitting there, and I thought, what a shame that we're not hearing them.
For you. So this is Mimi and Rodolfo, and they just met, and they're in love, and they're just going to have a nice time together, in a nutshell.
We just have to ignore if the planes come.
Oh, well, like we have to do. It's okay.
I just want to say before I sing this, that, man, it's been crazy, this 5.5 months of just, like, used to being gone, like, all the time, to now I'm home all the time, and it's been really surreal.
Our poor daughter.
No, I've learned a lot about gardening, but I just wanted, Tony doesn't even know this, I just found out like in the last couple days we've been working on, I might be jumping in next week in Spain, so I might be flying to Oviedo on Tuesday. I'm still hoping and praying that it all works out, but I've been granted authority to actually get into the country, so that's like now, but we'll see what happens in a few days. But so I'm so happy to finally get back on the road. But in the meantime, we're here for one last time at least.
At home, huh?
Yes.
No, somebody's got to make some money. Oh, suave fanciulla, o dolce viso di mite circonfuso alba lunar, in terra avviso il sogno ch'io vorrei sempre sognar, fremo angiol'anima, le dolcezze estreme. sei mia.
Aspettan gli amici.
Già mi mandi via.
Vorrei dir, ma non oso.
Di.
Se venissi con voi.
Che Mimì sarebbe così dolce restar qui, c'è freddo fuori.
Vi starò vicina.
E al ritorno
Curioso.
dammi il braccio mia piccina.
Obbedisco, signor.
Che ma mi di?
Io t'amo.
Amor, amor. Have a beautiful evening, everybody. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wasn't that awesome? Can you guys do Take the A Train? Did I say number 2? Oh, I bet you do. Don't you imagine that a fight between two opera people at home is epic and tragic and so dramatic? Guys, that was beautiful. Thank you for doing that. And really, you guys look them up because you're going to be blown away that just happened and that it all coalesced, that they were here together and did that. And thank you for being sports because I'm assuming that you probably are legitimately supposed to warm up and do all that kind of stuff. But what troopers. Yeah. We're going to do a song now. I mentioned earlier Shorty Rogers, and if you watched our Sunday night streaming show, I told this story, but I'm going to go ahead and tell it again, just since we're about to do this tune. But Shorty Rogers was one of the first guys to really bring the flugelhorn, which is this version of the trumpet, into the jazz world, especially around the 1950s. He started making it one of his regular, his regular voice, and he did this song called Just a Few that we're going to do right now. But I have a really lovely story about Shorty Rogers. And he was back in the late 80s, or it was about 1987, I guess, 88. I was playing at a place. Anybody remember the old Cafe Lido in Newport Beach? Yeah? So there's a little backstory there. Cafe Lido was, in the 80s, was really like the jazz club in Orange County, and it's what Steamers became later. And Joe Sperazzo was the owner of that, and he was a kind of one of those tough old Italian guys from New York who was also really a teddy bear. And he kind of, when I was about 17, took me under his wing and started sneaking me into the club when I was too young to be in there. And he was also a flugelhorn player and had grown up with Chuck Mangione, so he took a liking to me and just was a big part of me, developing and meeting all these musicians at the time. And then after a couple of years, as I was occasionally sitting in and then occasionally doing gigs there, he gave me the Friday night and Saturday night slot at Cafe Lido, which was a big deal for, I don't know how old I was, 20 years old. And, that's actually not the part of the story I'm supposed to get to, but I'll go ahead and say that anyway. I'll tell this part too, because this is where it's funny. But I know, just relax. You already used up your solo. So I remember one Saturday night, it was packed in there, and I was feeling really good about myself. And I said, "Hey, Joe, look at the crowd tonight. It's pretty packed," and thinking he would be, thanking me. And he says, "Any jackass can fill a room on a Saturday night." So it was pretty humbling. It was a good lesson for me. But the story is, one night I found out that the great Shorty Rogers, who hadn't been playing out live, he had been scoring a lot of films and, television shows, so he wasn't known for being around town playing that much, and he was had gotten the band back together and was doing some dates. So he was going to be playing at Cafe Lido, and it turned out to be a night that I was going to be at another gig all the way up in Valencia. So it's pretty far, and as it turned out, I was going to miss the gig. I was so sad about it, and I told Joe, and I said I was going to try to get off. I figured out if I got off stage in Valencia, ran to my car, got in the car, and drove down, I might literally make it for the last song or maybe 2 songs. So I did that. I got off the gig, didn't say goodbye, just ran to my car, drove all the way down from Valencia, pulled up to the club, and as I got, I don't know if you remember the old Cafe Lido, but there were stairs going up to the front door. As I walked up those stairs, Shorty Rogers was at the front door, and as I'm walking up, he goes, "Tony Guerrero, I'm so glad you made it." And I was blown away. I'd never met him or anything like that, and I thought that was so sweet of him. And it turned out Joe had said, "There's this kid. He's like racing here to get to see you." And he showed, my picture was on the wall with all the other acts that were playing there. And so Shorty saw that, went out and waited for me. I thought that was so sweet, and gave me a big hug. And then we went in. He played another 30 minutes for me, and it was just so beautiful. Yeah. So now we're going to butcher his tune. in honor of Shorty Rogers. I should have told the story afterwards. All right, this is a great song of his called Just a Few, and this is a song he recorded with a group about this size, and then I actually did a big band recording of it, and then we kind of transcribed that into this little band arrangement. So this is the small band arrangement of the big band arrangement of the small band arrangement of Shorty Rogers' tune called Just a Few.
Did you ever meet Shorty?
It's been like 20 minutes since I played. Thank you very much. Great little tune by Shorty Rogers. And if you haven't seen the Frank Sinatra movie, The Man with the Golden Arm, I believe it's called. Did you see that? So Shorty Rogers was in that movie. I think he did the whole score also. I'm not 100% on that. I think he did the score, but he also appears in the movie because he's the band leader of the band that Frank Sinatra's auditioning for when he's all strung out on heroin, which is how Mark Visher got in this band. So I mentioned the Lighthouse Jazz Club, and there was a group there led by Howard Rumsey called the Lighthouse All-Stars. And the Lighthouse All-Stars were just really, for the West Coast movement, one of the leading bands, if not the leading band for this music. And I found out just a couple years ago, we play at the Festival of Arts every summer at the Laguna Beach Irvine Bowl, right? And anybody ever go to that? Come on. Pageant of the Masters, all that. Well, it turns out, that's been going on for many years. It turns out back in 1955, the Lighthouse All-Stars and Shorty Rogers and a bunch of other West Coast celebs did a concert there in 1955 at the festival grounds. And it was recorded on an album that hasn't been available for many years, and I was able to get a copy. They just re-released it, and it's a wonderful little album. And it's so great to think of all those players being down there in Irvine back in the 50s. And we're going to do a song that I lifted off of that album written by the sax player Bob Cooper. And this is a song called Mood for Lighthouse. And it just dawned on me, if you're standing there on stage playing at the Festival of Arts, you look up and on that hill there's that little lighthouse. How cute is that? Yeah. So here's a song called Mood for Lighthouse by Bob Cooper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're the only band in the country playing that tune tonight. Then again, we might be the only band in the country with a gig. Hey, with that in mind, how about we show a little appreciation for Campus JAX and Jack Jasper, help make sure all of this is happening, and Golden, who's running sound, and John, who does the camera. And are you guys watching any of the broadcasts? Doesn't it look great, and it sounds great, and that's just this whole team. And so I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to assume that Tim would probably want... Guys, number 12 is the next one. Everybody, if you have your hymnals, it's number 12. But I'm going to go ahead and say that, you know, all that stuff behind the scenes takes not only a lot of effort and time, but also money to put on. And so if those of you watching right now would like to go to... I don't remember the website. It's going to flash on the screen right now. But there's a tip jar there you can leave. I don't know. I'm not going to. Steamersjax with an X.com, and you can leave a little tip there, and that goes to kind of offset some of the costs of putting that all on. And for those of you who are watching, thank you for tuning in. That's the. Thank you for tuning in, and please keep in mind that the internet does add 20 pounds. So a lot of the great jazz from the 40s and 50s, the bebop melodies were written based on the changes of other songs, meaning the chord changes from popular songs. So a lot of Charlie Parker's songs and others from that era would write different melodies to these chord changes. And so when I was in college, we had an assignment to find a song and write our own melody to the changes from that tune. And so I chose a classic song by Thelonious Monk called Round Midnight. And we're going to do that song now, which makes this the oldest song in my personal original repertoire of original songs. This is the oldest one that I still actually ever perform. So this is written back in the mid-'80s when I was in college. And this is my take on Thelonious Monk's changes to Round Midnight, and this is called Monk. I know, it's a great title. I actually had some very cheesy lyrics written to this that you will never hear. I mean, I wrote them. That's why you'll never hear them. They're really bad. It was all maudlin and sappy. The story was. I tried to paint the picture that it was many years after the heyday, and Thelonious Monk walks into this old club where hardly anybody remembers him, but his piano is still there. Yeah, it's really dumb. This is called Monk. Not gonna happen. I'm going to feature Mr. Dr. Eric Dries on the piano on this one. 2, 3. All right, I think we only have time for a couple more tunes. We're going to do a song that there's a gentleman who lives in the Midwest, and he runs a website. It's number 7, guys. It's in the key of B flat if you brought your harmonicas and would like to play along. Wow, somebody knows the catalog. So this gentleman in the Midwest runs a website that he sells big band charts and things like that, and he does a lot of writing himself. And he sells some of my charts, and I've gotten to know him a little bit. And he sent me some tunes to put in the book for this band. And so this is one of his arrangements. His name is Jim Martin, and this is a nice little take on a tune called Just Friends. Thank you very much. It's a Jim Martin arrangement, at least the parts I played right. Well, I'd like to, before we close off, because I think we're about time to close, right? I don't have my iPhone with me. 8:23. Oh, perfect, because this next tune's like 40 minutes long. So we're going to do a song written by Cedar Walton called Cedar's Blues and give everybody a chance to say goodbye. But let me just once again reintroduce the guys to you, and that back there on the drums is Mr. Dean Koba. On the bass, that is Mr. David Miller. Dr. Eric Dries on the bass and treble piano. Left and right hand of the piano. On the saxophones, that is Mr. Mark Visher. And Ryan Dragon on the trombone. And my name is Tony, and this is Cedar's Blues. And thank you again for being with us, and or for watching, or whatever it is you did. And if you didn't watch or show up, yeah, you missed out. All right, Cedar's Blues. right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us tonight. Once again, Ryan Dragon, Mark Visher, Dr. Eric Dries, David Miller, Dean Koba, and of course the staff here at Campus JAX, and Jack and Tim and Golden and John and everybody else involved. Thank you for being with us and coming out and supporting live jazz and supporting this venue. And we hope to see you again really soon. And John and Lynette, thank you so much too. That was so great. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.